Hello, in this video we will discuss about the smooth muscle physiology. The quick overview we will discuss now. So the smooth muscle physiology is basically let's begin to understand the two type of muscle. One are present in the stomach and other are present in the artery, for example. So the multi-unit smooth muscle are present in the stomach while the unitary smooth muscle are present in the artery. So here is contain are required the multi-unit smooth muscle required the multiple nerve innervation, while the single nerve autonomic nerve innervation is the small artery, the endothelium, medial muscle fiber which that control and the adventitia. Anyhow, this is the brain which that control the autonomic innervation, and this is the neuron. So this is the autonomic innervation. Anyway, let's begin to understand the smooth muscle contraction. So the smooth muscle contraction is basically the multi-unit smooth muscle tissue innervated by the autonomic nervous system. Fine control and gradual response, much like in skeletal muscle, the trachea, the elastic arteries, the iris of the eyes. So this all is the best example for the multi-unit smooth muscle tissue innervated. The multi-unit means that each muscle cell require the stimulation through a nerve fiber. So what is the difference between the skeletal muscle and smooth muscle cell and the skeletal muscle and smooth muscle or cardiac muscle? So basically the no troponin are present in the smooth muscle cell, but instead the calmodulin is regulatory protein in smooth muscle. Also the tropomyosin doesn't serve the regulatory function as striated muscle. So the tropomyosin doesn't serve the uh, regulatory protein in smooth muscle. Also tropomyosin doesn't serve the regulatory function as striated muscle. And contraction is inhibited by a calcium regulated phosphorylation of myosin rather than a calcium activated the troponin system. So it can be inhibited through a calcium regulated phosphorylation and the troponin system. And the smooth muscle thin filaments, mainly actin, tropomyosin and calmodulin. So in this way the smooth muscle cell here, which that is the influx of the influx of the calcium will trigger the sarcoplasmic reticulum. The trigger the sarcoplasmic reticulum will lead to calmodulin and calcium calmodulin binding with the myosin light chain kinase activation. A cyclic AMP will trigger this. We will discuss the cyclic AMP next, and in this way the phosphorylation, the phosphatase enzyme lead to myosin light chain kinase activation to contraction through myosin light chain inactivation. So this is a cell which that is part of the stomach. So let's begin to understand through a stomach. This is the multi-unit smooth muscle. What we will understand for the contraction and relaxation in the multi-unit smooth muscle. So the autonomic nerve innervation, which that is sympathetic for relaxation, and relaxation require the vasoconstriction, and on the other hand in the stomach basically for relaxation because the vasoconstriction will not supply the blood, and the parasympathetic for contraction is the vasodilation. So this is the G coupled protein receptor contain trimeric subunit of protein contain a G alpha and 11 and G12 and 13. So the sympathetic for relaxation, the vasoconstriction, while the parasympathetic for contraction, the vasodilation will occur, the vagal nerve involved for it. So anyhow, the stomach here, and this is the cell of the stomach, the muscular layer, which that here is the activation of the alpha protein, alpha monomeric protein to activate GTP containing will lead to trigger the phospholipase C beta to trigger the PIP2 to convert IP3 will trigger the efflux of the calcium will bind with the calcium calmodulin will myosin light chain kinase to ILK to activate through ATP to convert ATP to myosin activation from the myosin to phosphorylation. And in this way, the actin and myosin will combine together to form actomyosin with the aid of ATP. And in this, the actomyosin activation will lead to contraction, while the myosin phosphorylation will dissociation through a hydrolyzation through a myosin light chain phosphatase enzyme. Will lead to myosin detachment, lead to relaxation. And this is the parasympathetic for contraction, and the vasodilation is more important. But in this way here you can see the GEF and the Rho GTP will trigger the ROC to inhibit the MLC, the myosin light chain phosphatase enzyme to inhibit. In this way the contraction will continue for the sympathetic for the parasympathetic nervous system to contraction more to digestion. So in summary, here is the action potential will trigger the smooth muscle contraction and the smooth muscle relaxation, and the the low type voltage gated channel, calcium gated channel, which that will efflux of the calcium by the depolarization, the membrane depolarization after the binding with the neurotransmitter, the acetylcholine or other, or the epinephrine or norepinephrine will lead to vasoconstriction or vasodilation as well as the contraction of the cell muscle. So in this way the calcium calmodulin complex formation by the binding of the calmodulin with the calcium will trigger to the myosin light chain kinase enzyme. In this way here is the intracellular fluid and the extracellular fluid, and this is the actin plus myosin will combine together and will lead to myosin plus actin phosphorylation, will lead to myosin light chain phosphatase enzymes used, while the nitric oxide also trigger for the smooth muscle relaxation. So the relaxation requires the nitric oxide to GTP to convert the cyclic GMP will target to the myosin light chain phosphatase enzyme to inhibit the myosin contraction. So the actin and myosin will not detached. So this is the smooth muscle physiology. I hope you make sense and like this video. Please make sure to subscribe, like and share if you like, and thanks for watching.